right. We're about to open the Tilton Northfield Fire District Budget Committee. It is 5:29 in the afternoon here. Call meeting to order. Those present are Commissioner Representative Paul Ogier, myself, Dennis Manning, Eric Pyra, Jane Alden, Paul Blaisdell, and Scott Lewandowski, and the Chief and Kathy are here as well. I guess we'll...
Today's date is?
Oh yeah, that's right. Today's date is October 7th. Thank you for keeping me on track here. Appreciate that. Okay, first thing on the agenda, we just called the meeting to order. Public comment, members of the district. Seeing none right now, I suppose if somebody comes in here in the next couple minutes, we can break for that. But other than that, everybody should have a copy of the minutes.
We can move this, except the minutes of...
I have one correction.
We can come to the discussion after it's moved.
We have a motion to accept the minutes.
9:23.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Paul Ogier.
Discussion.
Discussion, the date's wrong. 9/23/24, not 23.
Oh yeah, good catch.
Oh, yeah, good catch.
I was like, it was the 23rd.
Might have been last year.
Good catch. Does
All right,
anybody
so-
have any other corrections, omissions? Derek had the correction.
Yeah,
Oh,
right
Paul
down there.
Blaisdell
Yeah, I know.
made the motion. Yep. Yeah, the date's correct at the bottom. Top right. All right, hearing no other corrections, omissions, all those in favor of accepting the minutes as corrected, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
You can't vote.
Marstein.
You weren't here. How do you know, the minutes are correct?
Damn, Paul's on fire tonight.
Everybody watched the video.
Look at mine.
Doesn't matter.
Sure it does.
If you weren't here, you can't vote on it.
Okay. So, I guess now, we have the 2025 budget we can dig into. Having done some things in the past, unless Kathy she handed out an updated version here that includes the commissioners' numbers. I really didn't see a lot of... the only big discrepancy I see right now, the difference is the on 4220 on the front page there. For the fire budget, it's 2.3 million, and the commissioners have 68,000 in there.
They haven't finished.
Oh, okay. Is that what that is?
These are totals for those.
Right, yeah, they're totals, okay. All right, so they haven't finished. All right, I guess we'll look through it. I didn't, obviously with the updated version I've gone through, I went through and made a bunch of annotations on the copy that was handed out at the previous meeting. And I don't know, I'd like to get a consensus. In the past, on the budget committees, we would look through and those line items that haven't changed or whatnot, and barring any discussion on those, we can do like a block acceptance of those, get those out of the way, and then save the other line items for that we want to discuss. Is anybody opposed to that?
So for instance, if you were on page 3, what you're saying is take 411, we just vote on that as a total, rather than splitting
Correct,
it up.
like, yeah, I did 411 and 412, I was thinking, but, and we can talk about, we can go through each one of them, but yeah, that's exactly what it is, to vote on the total for the line number, the main category there.
I don't have a problem with that.
Anybody else have any issues with that? And we can check it off and go through it. So, all right, and unless anybody has anything different, page 3, as Paul just stated, 411 was the first one that I had that.
The only question I have is the actuals. Are we anticipating a lot more in that, especially for .02? We have like 82 budgeted, but we're only 3,300.
No, I see what you're saying.
I'm just
We still
wondering.
have 3 months.
It just seems like we got a lot of extra potentially in there. Because I know last year the fuel was sort of, nobody knew where it was going and.
Right,
you
well, like
know.
Kathy said, with the next 3 months, and we're gonna start turning the furnaces on. We haven't had them on all summer. Well, I don't think we have.
No, we haven't. They've been on.
Just hot water.
Right. So that would be, I'm thinking that's probably gonna be, I know like me personally, I'm anticipating seeing the fuel truck by the end of the month. They usually come in the end of the month, October, 1st of November, fill it up so then you get that big charge and then it's, I mean, I'm thinking with the fire stations, probably every month after that.
If you follow Scott's logic, if you go back to 23 and 22, they were still significantly less for the entire year than both what the chief is budgeting and
True.
the total for the commissioner's budget. Paul, why aren't the commissioners filling in each line individually? In other words, where did you come up with your 7,000?
Well, we went back and looked at last year and the year before, so, you know,
But, yeah, my question is, why isn't there an entry for Center Street and another entry for Park Street? There's just a total.
That's how they voted it.
Yes.
I mean, if that's what you guys want, I mean, we can do that, it's just that, I mean, it hadn't changed, I mean,
Well, I'm just curious if there was a reason for doing it that way. If there isn't, then that's fine also.
I mean, we discussed both of them and, you know, we figured that was a good number to put in there for that. Like I said, you got 2 months coming up, in November and December, you have no idea what the weather's gonna be.
But the number that's represented as actual, when is that through?
That is through September 30th. But that does not include, I don't believe that includes the September bill. Let me look, it might. Yeah, it would include the bill, sorry.
So that's through September 30th, the actual,
Yes,
and that's throughout the entire
Yes.
budget.
It is.
October, November, December.
Well,
Is all that's left on that.
just that on water, usually you get that quarterly. Have they sent those out yet?
yes.
Okay, I haven't. I
There
haven't
are,
received mine at home yet, so it's.
yeah, there are some bills that we haven't received for September yet, but the majority of them.
Well, my feeling is that even the 7,000 is probably gonna be a little bit high.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of same, maybe 6,500 might be the buffer.
Go back 3 years, 6,200 was the, so I'd be okay with 6,500.
Do you want me to break it up between the two buildings?
You can by the same.
Percentage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you need a motion and a second and a vote.
It's fine, I make a motion, we make 411, 6,500.
Second it.
Okay, we have a motion that's been made and seconded to, and that's for the 6,500 for the total.
Yeah.
All those in favor of that, say aye.
All right.
All opposed?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was focused on something else.
Okay. All right, the next one I had in green was 412, the water. Let's want to move into discussion on that one. Does anybody have any issues with that? I know like in the past, looking at that stuff, I know in 2023 it was close to 2,000. Actual right now, 1,500.
Yeah, I'm not a water customer. Are they rates set? Is that everything finalized for the year for them?
We still have another bill coming, they come quarterly.
And then the
And
rates
the
go up
bill
the first of
rates
the
go
year.
up.
Yeah.
Do you know how much they're going up?
4%.
4%.
And the last bill we get will be in January for the last quarter.
I mean, I think the fire commissioner's one's actually pretty good. I think 1900 is pretty good.
Entertain a motion for that.
Sure, I make a motion for 412 to be 1900.
I'll second that.
Seconded, so we have a motion made and seconded to change the total to 1,900 in line with the commissioner budget. All those in favor? Say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. We'll change that to 1,900. Okay. And if somebody else has something on here, I was just gonna flip the page and move over to 430 being the next one. So 430.
413 is sewer.
What about sewer?
Oh, yeah, sewer, my bad, missed that one. I only had a question there, is like 1,080, you know, actually I had that marked on my other one as red. I just wanted to ask, like $80 with that, was that like a percentage increase, you just did the number that way? Okay,
It's based on the formula of your sewer rates based on your water usage.
Yes.
right, but I'm just saying, it was like 4%, I mean, because the water and sewer is pretty much tied to each other. From what I understand, I don't know, don't they
But-
check your meter and,
But
No.
Center Street Station has much more usage than Park Street.
For the sewer, they get that figure from the amount of water that goes through your meter.
right,
And that's it. There's no out, it's just in.
right. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm not a water customer, so I don't know either.
Yeah.
You can actually watch it on your app.
Right, so do we have we'll entertain a motion for the $1,080?
We wanna do the 80 or we just wanna do the 1,000?
Oh,
I would say, I'll make a motion for the 1,000.
okay,
I'll second that.
all right, so we have a motion to, for 413, the total sewer for $1,000 in line with the commissioner's budget.
Should that be broken up?
I'm breaking it up.
600, 400?
But for the total, yeah, the motion was for the total. So, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. All those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. All right, is there anything else on that page that we think we can get done really quickly?
Look at that,
You missed the first page.
The dumpster.
Page 2 is what we missed.
dumpster
Page
and
two.
custodial supplies at the bottom.
Yeah, that's it.
At the top is the total executive, the salaries, then there's the elections cost, the auditing cost, legal expenses. All
You
those.
don't have any of those numbers in your budget though, for the executive costs.
I don't decide what the commissioners are gonna decide who gets paid what. That's,
Well, if it's not in your budget, then it's not on your bottom line either, right?
no. But it's not my, I'm not gonna say, you need this, you need to pay him $1,500, you need to pay him $1,000. That's not my position for that.
No, but
To
it's
do
your
elected
position
officials.
to budget the money for paying it.
No, it's their job to put that in the budget. It's not my job to pay them.
You're saying on page 2, right, chief?
Yes,
Yes.
right at the top.
Yeah, because that was.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly
Going back to-
disagree because your budget now, your bottom line budget is $9,500 less
I
than
didn't
what.
budget it last year either. They always budget that amount.
I didn't have that green checked anyway, because I was going off what we were handed last week as opposed to this week. So, and we were all empty there. But we can go back to that. So you said you wanted to discuss the 4130, which should be a green check percentage.
those, the payment for the commissioners, the payment for the clerk, the payment, the salary for them is determined by the commissioners, but that's already been determined for next year.
It's different, it has been different every year. Because the budget committee has changed, like the commissioners, I used to do it, but then the commissioners would change it and the budget committee would change it, and the numbers were always different. And it's a political thing, I'm not supposed to be political. I got out of it, I let the commissioners decide what they want to pay the elected officials, and the budget committee can agree or disagree with it. And even when the budget committee disagrees with it, the commissioners override them anyways, so I'm out of it.
I respect that. I mean,
I see the reasoning for not having it in there. My concern is that it's not.
If you look at
On the
last
budget.
year's budget, I didn't budget that line either. So it doesn't change what I did from last year to this year, or the year before. I says, I'm
Oh,
not.
so what you're saying is if you're comparing bottom lines, they're comparable because you didn't have them in last year either.
That's correct.
I'm assuming we haven't paid out some, right? for
That's
the-
correct. The
yeah.
commissioners have not taken any salary yet. Everyone else took theirs. The commissioners all decided they would wait until December.
right. Perfect Christmas thing, you know, it was
Paul's trip
a
to.
Christmas thing. A trip to Disney.
If it's left.
I'd suggest Tampa this year.
Middle of the state.
What's that?
I'd suggest Tampa this year. Probably buy some property for that amount.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to, we've kind of tweaked this in the past and it's never really worked. I would just leave them as they are
So
personally.
is that a motion to pass
Yeah.
4130 at $9,500?
Yes, yes it is.
Okay, and then second,
Second.
or second?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries, I'm just being
Smart.
smart. So we have a motion to accept, and a motion and a second to accept the $9,500 for line number 4130. All those in favor, please indicate by stating aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it.
Make a motion, we fund line 4140 at $2,000 per the commissioner's budget request.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion for line 4140 for $2,000 to stay in line with the commissioners, and we have a second. All those in favor, please state so by saying aye. All those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it.
Make a motion on 4150 for $10,400.
Second.
Chief, what, is that a fixed cost? You have
It's
a
contracted cost.
contracted, okay.
Yep. Okay. Any discussion on that other than that? Hearing none, all those, we have a motion for $10,400 for line 4150. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. The ayes have it.
Make a motion on line 4153 at $4,000.
We have a motion for $4,000. Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
We have a second for that motion.
Where did we come up with that number, Chief? Or your number is 0.
My number was, I didn't know, because I was relying on, because we're in the process of hiring a new firm, and the commissioners looked at outside of the water
Issue.
issue. I have another word for it.
I can just imagine.
Debacle, we'll call it, how's that? That's really where we were spending, and I just wanted to confirm that with the commissioners, and they said, we were debating whether it be 5,000 or 4,000, the commissioners settled on 4,000, and I'm agreeable to that.
So we appropriated 4,000 this year and spent 2,300. Do you guys,
Well,
oh,
So
do-
far,
yes.
are there any legal issues hanging
there are
right
bills
now?
out
We
still.
have some bills that need to come in. It's 2 issues that we're waiting on bills
the issue has been resolved, you just haven't paid the lawyers yet, or there are ongoing issues?
I believe they're resolved.
Is there any other discussion on that? Okay, hearing none, we have a motion and a second for $4,000 on line 4153, legal expenses. All those in favor, stay so by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. We'll skip over personnel administration for now.
Then 4194, 410, electricity
Right.
at the bottom.
Mhm. Yeah, electricity's not getting cheaper.
So you guys
From what I hear.
buying into the co-op or the Merrimack County.
So we're in a contract right now that extends through December of '25, and we're looking in to see how much it would cost to get out of that contract and sign up with another thing. There'll be a penalty involved, so
Yeah.
we're in the process of doing that right now.
If we sign up effective October 3rd, the penalty is $600.
Are you on co-op at Park Street or?
No, both of them are
Eversource.
Eversource.
Aren't they doing something in Northfield where everyone's going onto the same plan or something?
No, it's just a co-op plan. You can choose one of 5 different rates depending on whether it's 100% green or 60% green or, so, you know, you pay the same distribution fees, the same, all the fees remain the same. You just pay a different rate per kilowatt hour for the electricity itself.
Okay.
And as it turns out, the cheapest rate is like 0.06 cents different from what you pay from co-op as it is. It was no difference, essentially, if you went with the cheapest rate.
What if you're on Eversource? 'Cause some of
I didn't see Eversources because
Are you on the co-op or
I'm
you
not co-op on there. Or it might have been on there. Yes, it had to have been on there, but I don't remember what it was.
I'll entertain a motion for 4194. Anyone?
Do you want to, you said if we opted out of the existing contract at $600 as of right now,
As of October 3rd.
October?
But the issue is there's no money in the budget to do that because of the budget being amended at district meeting. We're bare bones.
So you don't, what you're saying is you don't have 600 unspent dollars that you could pay that penalty with?
That's what the chief's telling me.
We're scraping right now. So I asked Kathy to look in to see if we could change in January. In January, we would probably be able to find that penalty in the new year, whereas right now, I don't think we can afford it.
Do you think that'll change anything here that much or not particularly?
I don't think so.
Not much. It wouldn't be too much of a savings if you do that.
If you follow these numbers that we have expended now and you extrapolate them out for the rest of the year, you'll see that I'm pretty damn close with where I think we should be budgeting.
I'll make a motion then to accept the 17,000.
We have a motion on the table for the 17,000. Do we have a second?
One second.
You said you would.
Yeah.
Second, all right, we have a motion and a second for the 17,000 on line 4194. Any discussion?
Yeah, I want to continue to discuss this a little bit.
I'm curious what, the Park Street Tower, why is it doubled, over doubled from 2023?
Because
Did it not go online until?
we have more equipment in there now than we did in 2023, so it's using more electricity. And it's kind of the same with the Shed Road Tower, with more equipment in there.
But we don't have Shed Road as a separate.
It's Spalding
It's
Tower.
Spalding, that
Oh,
should be
Spalding.
Shed Road.
But you
That's
maintain
a
the
lot.
same
Electricity.
for Park Street Tower and Shed Road, but you increase Center Street. Why do you think Center Street is gonna be,
Because we're using more electricity there, for some reason, we're gonna be over budget on Center Street this year.
No explanation for why?
Oh, yeah. You're at 6,900 already,
Yeah?
with a budget of 7,250.
Mhm.
And you said that's for 3 more months. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, good luck with that.
no kidding, right?
but all the other expenses are,
In line, really.
well, if you look at Center Street, you're at probably, I can't figure it out off the top of my head, but you're probably at 93 or 94% of what was budgeted. Park Street is only 75%. Park Street Tower is only 50%, and Shed Road is like 60% or so.
The other thing you have to remember is, after the meeting, the district meeting, all these numbers were adjusted, especially the Shed Roads one that was adjusted to meet the demands, because it was underfunded
You could
during the
be,
budget process.
the 2024 is through September? Bills?
I'm looking right now.
Okay. All right, well, I mean, I took that number and I divided it by 9, because that's 9 months. And you're spending about $1,214 a month. So that will put you at almost $17,000 for the year. This year. So you're gonna be over budget this year. Unless you shut off all the lights. Sorry, guys. No charging, cell phones aren't working.
I won't be able to work.
I'll just-
Don't like that.
No. And we did all LED lights in there a few years ago.
They're all LEDs.
Okay, so we're 95.2% through Center Street, 76.3 through Park Street, 50.5 through Park Street Tower, 64.4% through Shed Road Tower.
So it's gonna be over.
Yeah. Afraid so.
Could be over by about $1,200.
Which makes it 17. Is that right?
I'd actually like to wait off a month, just to get another month of bills, just to see.
We've got through, the bills through September in there.
We can. I mean,
Yeah,
we-
let's
we could-
come back to that.
yeah, we
I'll
can
bring
say
that flyer in from the co-op. And we'll see if you can get a cheap, at least at Park Street, right? Because it's Merrimack County.
The contract that we have with our electricity provider is for both,
Right,
so trying to get out that is what we're trying to,
Right.
we're looking at it.
right.
When we signed the contract, it was a very favorable rate, but some of the rates have come down, but it looks like they're gonna go back up next year anyways. I know, at the Public Utilities Commission, they have hearings set for rate increases from ever so often.
From what I've read, it looks like they'll go through without any problem.
Totally.
Did I hear someone say they want to talk about custodial and dumpster separately on page 3?
Oh, you got 3 down here. 430.02.
We have repaired and maintenance.
Right. Yeah, the 430's down here. I figured probably people would want to talk about that, though. I figured that'd be it. Like I said, I was hoping to get through some of these quicker ones without spending a lot of time on them. That way they'll give us more time to talk about the ones we wanna talk about.
So what are you saying, hit,
Well, this is what we just did on page 3. We already got through 4, 11, 12, and 13. And I was looking at the 430 repairs and maintenance. I figured there'd be a lot of discussion probably down through here.
well, yeah, we could do the total custodial supplies.
I mean, yeah, we can do that if you wanna
And
break it
total
down.
groundskeeping pretty easily, right? Those are
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
Why?
The riding boring one you got. Landscape materials. Seriously, it was a 2-hour discussion over $300.
yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. But,
I make a motion on 430.03 and .07, custodial supplies and dumpster at 4605.
4605.
I'll
Typically
second
with the
that.
commissioners.
Budget.
That's been seconded by Jane. Any discussion on that?
Paul, why, the chief had $4,500 for custodial supplies and the commissioners dropped it to 3.
I was trying to think what.
Actually, right now, they've only spent $1,250.
Because we've been asked to hold off on anything.
I've put the brakes on any spending that's not absolutely necessary.
Well, I mean, that's how we should be looking at it, regardless of if money's tight or not, right? So,
Well, yes and no, I understand what you're saying. Philosophically, yes, that's the way we run, but there's times when we can spend more money. If we have a little money left in the budget, we can stock up on some supplies. We don't have any supplies, like, nothing extra right now.
So it's kinda like the toilet needs clean, you go out and buy a brush.
Yep.
There's no brushes on stock.
Yep.
Or
Well, we have-
barkeeper's
We
friend or whatever.
have we have brushes, but we
Right.
don't have,
Like consumables.
the paper towels
Right, right.
and that kind of stuff. It's like case at a time.
so the commissioners thought that you could reduce that by 30%?
Well, we talked to chief and he thinks, yeah.
We're only at 2335 right now. Obviously, you know, you get further back, you're talking about COVID kind of prices and supplies, so that's still, you know, a couple thousand more than what.
Well, dumpsters is a contracted price, so
Yes.
That's correct.
that's a fixed price.
Yeah, but the commissioners,
That's a type, that has to be a typo in there.
and the total's a typo also.
Because we did discuss the dumpster being contract price.
Right.
Right, 1695 was the contract
Check.
price.
I could tell you if I made a mistake.
Yeah, there could likely be one.
And
Why
I
would you-
probably
Why would you
did.
reduce it $90?
I would not, but let me just, I
09 right next
I
to
need
each
to
other.
go
Right,
back
exactly.
and look at,
Unless you're using
That would be a dentist mistake for sure, 90, like Eric was saying.
that's okay.
Well, I'm gonna amend my motion. Or do we have to retract our motion in second first? I retract my motion. Who seconded it?
I think if
I withdraw my
if you
second.
withdraw it, yeah.
Okay.
I withdraw my second.
Okay, I make a motion at 43.03 and .07 at 4695, which is 3,000 for custodial and 1695 for dumpster.
I'll second
Do
it.
we have, okay, we got a second, so we have a motion and a second for 4695 for the line numbers 430.03 and 430.07. Is there any more discussion on that, anybody?
Did you say 4695? I think you did.
4695.
Okay,
Yeah, 4695, yes. We just adjusted the other $90
Yeah.
or Paul.
thank you.
So, all right, hearing no further discussion, all those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Yeah, I'm not finding it in the minutes, she must have told me instead.
I move line 430.04 at $350.
Second.
What does that entail?
Tree bark mulch and the white rocks, like for the Park Street Station.
So it's just routine maintenance type
Yes.
stuff?
Yep.
Keep it looking good. Okay, we'll do that separately then. So we have a motion for 430.04 for landscaping materials at $350. We have any further discussion on that? Paul made the motion
Eric
and
or Scott did the second.
I think Scott, yeah,
Okay.
Eric.
Thank you.
Eric did the second. All right, hearing no further discussion, all those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. $350.
I moved 660.11 at 150.
Second.
Okay, we have it moved and seconded for $150 on 660.11. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state so by saying aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. All right, on the next page, the Shed Road Communication Tower and the Shed Road Tower Monitoring for $1,800.
Are these fixed costs too, I assume, some of them?
Well, the $300 is for stuff that might happen there, that we need to buy something to fix it, or something like that. The $1,500 is the monitoring fee.
Okay, what was the $50,000 that we had last year?
51,000, I had a grant and to install some equipment there, a
Oh,
microwave link and another receiver. And I was awarded another grant, it's not finalized yet, for almost 90,000 to expand our local radio system.
I mean, I liked how the numbers went, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's-
I just like how the numbers went, I was just like, how do we go from 50 grand to $300?
It has to go on the
I mean,
line.
I'm in favor of that, but,
What's the monitoring entail?
Monitoring is a company that monitors the environment, whether somebody goes in there, if the generator's running, if the generator's fuel's low, it monitors the radio system itself, the parameters, if the repeater is not working or working improperly, if the cavities for the repeater system, it monitors all that kind of stuff. The equipment is fairly temperature sensitive, so it has to be maintained within certain parameters. It monitors that, monitors if the heat's working when it needs to work, or the AC's working when it needs to work. That's it. And if you don't have it, it's a lot more
Stuff
expensive.
fails.
Yeah.
I moved 430.08 and 430.081 at $1,300.
Second.
okay. So we have a motion and a second for 430.08 and 430.081 for the total amount of $1,800. Any further discussion on those? All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
I moved 430.09 and .091.
Don't vote the one, because that number, anything in green is, I don't have final numbers on yet, and so,
Okay. So I remove my motion.
Well, I was wondering, was there big, it was 961, now it's, why was the actual so much higher?
is that the?
The generator, maybe?
No, that's when the tree fell on it.
Oh,
Oh,
right, yes.
Yeah, we had a tree fall in our shelter area that we had to hire a tree company to go in
So
and
when
take it off the roof and stuff.
do you plan on finding out what the monitoring costs?
Have some emails today I got, but I haven't had a chance to go through them yet. Shortly.
We'll address that later, maybe?
Yeah, and that's why I didn't put those in green, because they were in green, in the wrong place.
Part of that was weed control, too, Chief.
Part of that was what?
Weed
Weed
control.
control.
Yep.
All right, I felt the same way about 4196. Those are in green, we don't have the totals on yet.
Right, right.
And so, the salaries and wages, I didn't, are those
Yeah,
fixed? and
we
go with
can't
those?
do anything
Right.
unless there's numbers in the commissioner's
Right,
budget.
that's right.
Yeah.
So, all right, so move down to telephones, 341. What do we have here? It's 15 there, so the chief and the commissioners agree with the chief.
I make 341 for a total of 15,839.
I'll second that.
Second, we have a motion and a second for line number 431, or 341, excuse me, for 15,839.
How did
Any
we
further
come,
discussion on that?
how do we come up with those numbers, chief?
Those are basically contract costs of what, all the equipment we have, our internet service, our cell phones, anything, the mobile data devices that we use.
Is that hardware and software?
It's the monthly fee. Hardware is something, if we have to buy something, it's not out of this line.
Why was there such an increase in the office telephone service?
Because, was it Consolidated, Kathy, is the name of
Yes.
the company? So we had a contract with Consolidated that ended in, what, July
May.
or May or
May.
somewhere in the early summer, that we have 4 lines with them. And the contract expired, and I said, let's renew the contract because it was a very favorable rate. And they said, we're not renewing that contract, and we're not giving anybody an opportunity for that new contract. But you can have the same service for triple the cost of what it was.
Well, thank you. That was so very kind of you.
And so that's what we've been paying until we went to a new phone system that uses voice over internet protocol. So it's not phone lines anymore. Now our phones are over the internet.
So you're not on copper anymore, you're
We're
on.
not on copper. The copper was very expensive.
Yeah.
What's
So
the
who
company?
do we go through here?
Go
Go
to
to-
Connect.
I was just curious, I didn't know. I know my stuff is like screaming now. I switched to Xfinity now that I'm here with Comcast. I didn't know if that was something, if they offer anything, if it was, but I mean, you guys have a unique system. We're not talking about, football games and telephone for me. I get that.
Well, whose internet are they running on?
We have First Light fiber.
Oh, you have First Light, okay.
Okay, yeah, that's what it,
First Light's fantastic.
Yeah,
They
it's-
have high, I mean, if they do maintenance, they usually let you know, and it's usually overnight.
right,
So we use First Light for our projects, so.
that's cool. Any other discussion on that? Hearing none, so we have a motion and a second for 15,839 for line number 341. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
I
Information.
move, I really kind of want to talk about these individually.
The
I move
information.
342.01 image trend at $1,000.
Second,
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion on that?
What is
It's a
image trend?
records management system. That's the software that we use to put all our incidents in and all that kind of stuff. And it's extremely cheap. We get most of it free from the state, but there's $1,000 that we do have to pay for it. If we weren't getting it through a grant from the state, we'd be paying maybe $15,000 a year for the same service.
Right.
So this is the software that allows you to enter data into records. Does that also store the records and give you access to them?
Yes, yeah. It's all in the cloud.
Yeah, okay.
Any further discussion on that? All right, all those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, all those opposed? The ayes have it for $1,000.
Move on 342.02 IT services at $11,475.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
A second by Eric.
For discussion.
is this a fixed contract, I assume, as well? So
Yes.
that's guaranteed, like which one is it though, 11,475 or 11,745?
Oh, it's the 11,745. Did
Yeah.
I get dyslexic? Sorry, guys.
That's why we have 3 different columns.
That's right.
Yeah, very.
Dude, you never want to take my word for anything at first.
So the commissioners, did they vote at 11:7:45, I assume?
I'm
or
looking right now.
Did they?
I think we did.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure they
Yeah, I
did,
think we did.
yes.
It is. So with that correction, we have a, do we have any further discussion on that? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second for 11,745 on 3402. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it for 11,745 dollars.
This next one's a big jump, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Oof.
Well, for the sake of discussion, I'll move that. 342.03 at $2,200.
I'll second for discussion.
We have a second for discussion. Let's hear it.
Okay, so we went through an IT audit to look for weaknesses in our system. And the folks came back and said, you need to do this and do this to help people from getting into your system or holding us ransom, locking up all our data. And so these few software packages, the antivirus, the Defender, and the Bitwarden, which is like a password thing. We're not on it yet, so I don't really know how it works, but it's, this is to help protect our data. Whenever this is, and both Primex agrees that we should be doing this, Mainstay agrees that we should be doing this, and that consulting group from the state says we should be doing this. So I think we should be doing it then.
It's a crazy world now. You hear people getting held hostage all the time.
Yeah.
The ransom.
Held.
Not hostage, the ransom.
Yeah.
Hostage, you're
Franklin
ransom.
got held up
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
So
Salem.
Different way to rob a bank.
it's ridiculous,
Pay
dude.
the ransom or,
Whenever there's something new, they'll come out. Ridiculous.
I don't open any email now.
Is there any further discussion on that? Okay, hearing none, we have a motion and a second for $2,200 on 342.03. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. $2,200.
I move 342.05, computer hardware at 2,500.
I'll second for discussion.
Are those desktops or laptops? Is that stuff in the
I
office?
think
or-
it's 1-in-1.
It went down.
Well, it was crazy. We have, I don't even know off the top of my head how many PCs and iPads and desktops. I guess I can count the desktops, those are easy. But they were all being due to, they're usually on a 5-year lifespan, and they were all coming due at different times. Like 1 year you'd have 4 or 5, and the next year you'd have 1, the next year you'd have 3 or something like that. And I went to Mainstay and says, let's look at everything we have, and let's try and figure out a program where we can do it just 2 a year, so that the budget stays sort of level. And this is like the first year of that leveling out of replacing equipment on the time frame. So a couple pieces will be a little bit longer in their time frame. Like my desktop is going to stay another year instead of replacing it. I says it's working fine.
Don't say that, never say that.
He's getting a new laptop.
Yeah, my laptop, well, that's not
That's a
working
different
fine.
story.
That's not working fine.
But do you use a docking station where you use a laptop and a monitor and then?
So we did go through that, but it didn't work out well. So we don't use the docking stations.
I tried it.
Yeah, it just,
No?
Good. Good luck with it.
I know I use
Yeah.
that.
I have.
Yeah,
I
that's
have-
really good.
Yeah, it didn't, I kind of like killed it. I couldn't keep up with what I needed to do.
Any further discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second for $2,500 on 334205. All those in favor state so by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it.
$342.06, Microsoft Office 365, that's $6,600.
Second for discussion.
Okay.
Is that includes licenses for all your computers?
Yes. Well, all the ones, yes. We used to have a license, when you bought the computer, the license stayed with the computer.
Yeah.
Now, all those computers are gone, and you have to relicense it every single year.
So it's
Right, how many computers you have?
subscription?
It is a subscription.
Yeah, I pay $99 a year. I mean, they hit me every year now. It's like, you used to be able to get the disc. Now it's like,
Yes, good luck on the disk drive.
yeah, exactly.
I bought my last computer at Best Buy, and the clerk I was griping about how expensive Microsoft Office was. He keys into his phone and he shows me a website. He says, go here, you can buy it for $30 and it's a lifetime license.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Really?
Is it cereal? Because what
The first thing I thought was scam, right?
Right.
So my sister's a computer guru. I had her look at it and she loaded it on the computer and I still have it.
Serious.
So,
I'd be game for that, because like I said, I just renewed for another $100, man.
Leave it to the kids at Best Buy.
Right.
yeah, really.
Freaking squad, Geek Squad, that's what you
Exactly.
Don't hire them to put your TV up.
Yeah. All right. Any other discussion on that? All right, hearing none. We have a motion and a second for $6,600 on line number 3842.06. All those in favor state so by saying aye. Aye. Those against, those opposed, I should say. The ayes have it. TNFD website. I'll move, let's see what we got, yeah. For $4,550 for line number 342.07, the TNFD website.
No, second for discussion.
Let's hear it.
It's the fee for the hosting of our website.
What do you guys host with?
Civic Plus,
Civic Plus.
They do a lot of municipal websites.
that's their main game.
Really? This seems kind of, I mean,
If you go to Northfield, their website's hosted, I believe hosted through them as well.
It is.
really?
Yeah, a lot of municipalities. I know that because I go on a lot of them for
Right.
work.
Is
So.
there anything special about those with the municipalities when they host your website like that? I mean, as opposed to like those, I'm not saying I want you to go GoDaddy.com or Wix or anything like that, but I know those types are significantly cheaper. I just didn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's probably, you know what? I just answered my own question. You know what? It's probably advertisements and stuff. Because the municipalities are advertisement free, you're not inundated with that
Yeah.
crap. Okay. See that?
So-
Just talk it through.
Talk it through.
You spent $46.16 this year, and you anticipate going down next year?
I looked up the contract that we had with them, and that's the price that we're supposed to be paying next year. So I don't know what the 4616 is, or why it's there. We might have charged something else to it as well. But I don't know.
Any other discussion? All right, well, let's go to a vote. Hearing none, all those,
That addition, it's $75, was through Enlisting, who was our prior website host. And we had to end the contract, and that's what the cost was.
so
So that's the difference.
that's the difference. Okay. So you don't have any
So that's
additions
the-
or omissions on that then?
That's the $66 difference?
Yes, that's the difference.
Okay, all right, now we'll go to a vote. All those in favor of $4,550, state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Now, Kathy and I were talking earlier. Are we gonna hold off on this next line number
No.
from you asking?
No, we can do it, I'll just explain what happened and,
Okay.
I could have,
I move
Okay.
342.10 QuickBooks 3 user license at 3231.
Second for discussion.
okay. So today I got a phone call from QuickBooks, that we owe another $800 for this year. And what they didn't tell us is that the 3231 is for the subscription. The additional $800 is for the support.
Is it a legit phone call?
It was a legit phone call, yes. I had quite a discussion with them, and I was on the phone with them for quite a while.
Do you use
So
this?
you-
support?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You do?
What you're saying is
Yeah.
the 3231 is not accurate.
that is correct, so it should
Right.
now be 4,031.
So I will withdraw my second.
Okay, and I'll,
You just
no,
got that
actually, you
today?
did.
Yes, I just got that
Yeah.
today.
Probably ought to bring it up tomorrow then.
Why don't we,
How do it?
Why don't we let the commissioners
Yeah.
readdress that, and
Yeah.
then we'll look at that.
That was gonna be at their next
I withdraw
meeting.
my
Yeah.
motion.
Okay,
Now, that's not going to affect the next one, the QuickBook hosting?
no, that will not affect that.
So that number's good there. Okay. Well, I will move line number 342.11, the QuickBooks hosting for $2,680.
I'll second that.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor of that, please state so by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it.
I highlighted that in yellow, chief, so we'd remember it.
Okay.
I move 342.12 Adobe Pro at 864.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Do we have any discussion on that?
Yeah, it's significantly
Yeah.
higher than
Right.
what we paid this year. What's the,
So we add another user to it.
so how many users are there now?
4,
How many did you do? You had 3?
yes.
Yes.
And one more jumped it up almost double? Oh, it's not double from actual right now, but,
And we still have 3 months left to go.
and that's billed monthly?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Any further discussion on that? All right. All those in favor, state so by saying aye. Excuse me, we'll go back. We have a motion and a second for 342.12 for $864. All those in favor, state so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it.
I move 342.13 audio conferencing, Microsoft Teams at $48.
Second for discussion.
Moved and seconded.
That's not part of your
No.
Office 365?
No,
Didn't know that was a separate.
Oh, yeah, Microsoft Teams, that is,
How
yeah, that's
hot.
separate. Dude, they got you coming and
Wow,
going.
they do. They gotcha.
Freaking, how do you think he's buying up all the United States farmland? All right, any further discussion on that? All right, hearing none, we have a motion and a second for $48 for line number 34213. All those in favor state so by saying aye. Aye. All those,
Well, it's 342.13.
13, did I say 14?
You said 15.
Did I? Okay, my bad, I said right.
14.
Right, but it was 13. Whether I said 14 or 15, I was still wrong. 342.13 for $48. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Move 342.14 sign now at 180. What is that? Oh, sorry.
I'll second it. Oh,
What is that, Captain?
Sign Now is a program where I can send documents out.
It's like
for-
DocuSign?
It's like
Yes.
DocuSign.
How often do you use that? What do you use that for?
Anything the commissioners need to sign, I will send it out through that.
And they can all sign separately at
And
the
they can all
3-1.
sign separately and send it back. And we've used it for other things, the chief has contracts and stuff.
I'm gonna assume it's secure, so it's
Yes.
signatures, yeah. Check that too. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second for 3342.14 for $180. All those in favor state so by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Move 342.15 Vector Solutions at 2928.
Second for discussion.
Moved and seconded.
That is,
That's our
Schedule and
scheduling
payroll.
and payroll.
That's exactly what it says.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Self-describing.
That's a fixed cost, I assume? That's a
Yes.
contract?
Yes.
Is that,
that's unchanged from last year.
is that like electronic pay? It goes out like
Or-
I know like some of the
No.
schools will, they
No.
paychecks now?
No, what it is the guys, their schedule is on here, and then I get a payroll report off of there every week, so that we can do payroll, and everybody knows, you know, like if somebody calls out sick, it goes out through there so they can come into work, and someone will
Okay.
say, yes, I'll take it.
And that's something QuickBooks, well, obviously QuickBooks doesn't do scheduling. But
No, they
QuickBooks
do
does
not.
pay though, doesn't
They
it?
do pay, but I don't do electronic checks through QuickBooks because it costs money.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So I go onto the bank and do the payroll through the bank for free,
Right.
Direct
So this is
deposit.
primarily
direct
for
deposit,
scheduling is the big.
scheduling and, yeah,
Right,
Tracking their hours.
yes.
right, yeah. Any further discussion on that one? All right, hearing none, we have a motion and a second for 342.15 for $2,928. All those in favor state so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. All right. I move line number 350, inclusive of 01 and 02, for $13,860.
Second for discussion.
And, appropriated. You guys have 33 physical exams, 5 new employees. I mean, it's pretty much this, been standard as long as I've known it.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, anybody
Has there
have any
been
further
much turnover?
discussion on
Has
that?
there been much turnover this year?
Well, we get a lot of turnover in the call department,
Right.
and that's where most of the new employee things occur.
That if I'm, but
Everybody
this is an
gets
annual requirement every year
Right,
for
the
the.
33 physical exams are an annual requirement
Right,
for all of our hired
Call
firefighters and
and
EMT.
career.
right. Kind of like getting your
I would-
CDL.
Mm.
I'd like to discuss specifically the 5 new employees. In the past, you used between 1,100 and 2,800 of that proposed 3,000. Do you think you're actually gonna use 5 new employees? Or can that be reduced?
Well, we're gonna use it this year. We have 3 employees going through the process, 3 candidates going through the process right now, and that's not reflected in this price, so you can add $2,400 onto what's there right now. Or $1,800.
Who are your 3 employees called?
They're all call.
You're saying add that
To the
that
11,400.
2,400 to
To
the
what's
1140.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be a current year expense, you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Career people, if somebody goes somewhere else or resigns or retires, then we fill that position, and it's still another new employee that requires a physical. Call come and go quite a bit, especially the younger ones. We have a cadre of older folks that have been here for quite a while, and they still have to get their physicals, but the trying to get and maintain new call career people, is difficult.
Yeah, I mean, you're always recruiting. I know you guys are always recruiting for calls, so I mean, hopefully, if you have a good year, you could overshoot 5 and no problem.
Yep.
Well, I wouldn't say no problem. I mean, you'd love to overshoot 5.
I would,
I know that's
but
where
I
you'd
don't-
like to be.
I think 5 is a realistic number.
Right.
If you had so Scott serves on another department and he transferred here, is he considered a new employee?
Yes.
This is his
Yes.
physical though, so he
And-
goes,
He would have to have another physical.
Serious. That's
Yes.
crazy. It's not true. You know.
it's probably a liability thing.
Depends on, yeah, we have transferred people's physicals if they've had it within like 3 months, but it's
Right.
not
Well, right, I know.
super common, you know.
Yeah. That's like schools though. The reciprocities you got.
Yeah,
You know, it's like, oh, I thought, if you get checked out by the state, you know, it's like the schools will suck up the background check. And then I go over here to volunteer for this school, it's like, oh, now we gotta spend another, you know, I'm just like, is there no reciprocity? I mean, how many police checks do I need? You know, you'd think there'd be some reciprocity, you'd be
How
surprised.
many do you need?
Shouldn't need any, you know, I still have a freaking secret security clearance with the government.
It's not the word on the street.
Yeah.
I don't know what street.
There's all kinds of words on the street about me, brother. It's interesting. I love hearing them, honestly. Please tell me more. But, yeah. Is there any further discussion on those? Anybody? All right, we have a motion and a second for $13,860 for line number 350. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. I will move that we fund line number 390 for $1. Keep that line number open for any other professional services that may come up.
I'll second that.
What are CMCR fees?
Central Maine
Maine
recovery, cost recovery.
Yeah.
Say that again?
Central Maine cost recovery.
So there's no number in there from either the chief?
We had a 1-year contract with them that has lapsed and we're not renewing.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
What do they do?
So you're asking for 0 there, it's not blank, it's 0, right?
Yes, I guess you could say that.
But to keep the line open, you have to put $1 in it.
Right.
No, he's talking
Right,
zero.
I got
Oh,
it,
yeah.
I got
Right.
it, it's a total, but
Right.
So they attempted and did some work. So if we go to a car accident, the car has insurance on it. If we perform something like extrication or something like that, we would charge a fee for the extrication, and they would attempt to, like kind of like an ambulance bill, try and get some remuneration for us for that.
So is that like a profit sharing that they got out of it?
They would get a cut, they would
A
get 20%. But we found out that we do it just as well as they do, so we do it now
Oh, for the billing.
for the
Yeah.
bill.
Okay.
Right.
And we get 100%.
Oh, cool.
The police departments talk that to us and they do it now because we're local.
Wait, the what? The police department what?
The
Well, you
police
have to
de-
get a
we
lot
have
of
to get a police
information
report
from the,
Oh, I
because,
got you,
to
I
get
got
that
you.
information.
without it being redacted.
Gotcha.
All right. All right, we have a motion and a second for $1 in that line number 390. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it.
I move 392 background checks at 325.
I'll second
How
Discussion?
did the commissioners come up with that number, Paul?
We actually spent 175.
What they did was they asked me what the cost of a background check was, and I told them, and they multiplied it times 5 that was requested, and that's the figure.
It's just a match up with the
It
5
was a
new
match
employee
up,
physicals.
yes.
Sounds reasonable. Any further discussion on that?
Does the 135 include the 3 candidates coming potentially?
The, no, it does not.
Right, but you had 520 appropriated last year, so you have 520 in that for last year.
Right.
So then you have another 520 for 5 more. Do you have any more, Eric?
Oh, we're good.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second for 392, for 325 to match the commissioner's budget. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, 325, the ayes have it.
I move 550 printing at 500.
I'll second it. Any discussion on that one?
We're gonna spend less than, we're gonna spend less next year than this year.
Hopefully.
Did any of
Hopefully we
that?
won't have to buy any checks,
Checks.
which are expensive.
Yeah.
But we are gonna have to get, you know, like business cards and,
Did any of the printing for the survey involved in that? go into
No.
That was a separate cost. That was the 11,997 that you,
Yeah. I don't know if you had to print labels or did they do that?
they did everything.
I mean, this will cover our envelopes that say Tilton Northfield Fire on them. And business cards that will need to be done once we switch over to .gov. That type, and whatever other little incidental printing we need.
Any further discussion? All right, we have a motion and a second for $500 in line number 550. All those in favor state so by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. All right, I will move to fund line number 560, dues and subscriptions.
we got
Oh,
no
we don't have any,
commission.
yep, sorry, thank you.
It's
I appreciate it, brother.
And that's where they stopped,
Oh, I have a question.
asked away.
Page 8, is an approval by the budget committee for 89,745 on line 3311.05. Yet, it's not reflected in the budget, in the meeting minutes of the previous meeting.
We did,
That's the grant, that's the radio grant that I received.
oh, yeah, this is income, right?
Yes.
Revenue?
Yeah.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the chief plugged those numbers in because the grant, and then it has to be, you know, so the commissioners have to put it in, and the budget committee has to put it in order for us to get it.
Yeah.
Because we have to take it and then, so that we can spend it.
They never have to ask me to get money, to receive money.
I noticed that we skipped over section 430 repairs and maintenance.
Well, we can go back to it, we've got time.
Well, my curiosity was on the lead paint prep and exterior trim, it looks like the commissioners cut that from the budget.
Yep. That was for the Center Street Fire Station. If you notice, the paint on the sign up above and all the window trim is all old. It's lead paint and stuff like that, and it's cracking and stuff like that. But I think Commissioner Oshie would probably say that they don't want to put any more money into the building, considering that we have hopefully a new plan going forward for fire stations. Is that, am I saying that correct, Paul?
That's what we decided, yep.
We're gonna find out soon.
Well, I'm sure
The
we'll make
23rd.
it, we'll make up our mind. What happens after that, who knows?
All right, well,
Tomorrow night.
we still got,
You can do everything on that except for the Center Street alarm monitoring,
yeah.
because we're waiting for that figure.
Well, let's go through, I mean, we've got these nights planned for 2 hours, I was planning
Yeah.
until 7:30, so we can take everything that the commissioners have done and drive on. So, on that note, just on page 3, on 430.01,
Well, that
which one?
that 430.01 encompasses all of those.
Except for the 430.05.
Right, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those items with no,
We can do it line by line.
They're not being funded.
they're not line by line, no. It's one
No, well,
line
the-
for all of them.
Well, the alarm one, that's, yeah, but there's,
These are broken down because we know that what that needs to be done. The
But there's-
total is $10,000 for all of that.
So the water softener, salt and filter is 0? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes,
Okay, why
So
isn't
all
it
ones
written
are-
here at 0, is my
because
question.
we've never done that before. If you wanted a 0, I'll put it in there.
Well, that's what you're proposing, right? It's the way I look at it. And
Well, no,
And we
it was
have to
done,
leave it
it
there
was
for-
done in 2023.
Yeah, we have to leave it there for 3 years and then it can go away.
You don't have a water softener now?
We do.
but you
So
guys are
the-
not looking for any money for it.
Oh,
so the commissioners are at 0 on all those also.
Correct.
Right.
I'm
Is that-
plugging 0 in right now.
Is that what you guys voted, Paul?
Yep.
Now, just for my own clarification, the window AC replacements,
Yes.
wouldn't that also fall into station improvements and repairs?
Yes, these are,
Yes.
so what I usually ask for is like $5,500 for anything that could happen. But there are specific things that I know, we need to replace those air conditioners, we need to replace the bed, we need to replace the stove.
That's why it's all broken out.
And then it's like, the building was built in 1867, it's $5,500 sometimes makes it, sometimes it doesn't. There's just so many things that could go wrong with it, and we spend a bunch of it every year.
I move 430.01 to include everything listed. Window AC replacements, lead paint, prep, tree beds, kitchen stove, water softener, vinyl siding, Plymouth vent, and security system at the commissioner's budget of $10,000. That's not, is it?
Yes, that's right.
Right, the only problem with that is though, 430.05 and 11 fall under that.
That's correct. So you voted on everything other
So we
than
need to do
those.
each line, that's why.
Well, but
Just-
the
Just say
commissioners don't.
430.01.
Yeah, that's what I did. I motioned 430.01 at 10.
That would be okay. yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, okay. And then we'll just fill in all the,
Right, when we get the numbers.
accordingly.
Because they do have different numbers.
Right.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second for 430's, line number 430.01 for a total of $10,000. Any further discussion on those? No? Hearing,
I'm curious about the sign, because if you build a new building, the sign's not gonna just go away with.
It's part of the demolition cost of the building.
You can take that sign off and put it in the new building.
You're gonna have to remove the lead paint from it. Even if you take it and throw it in a dumpster, you have to remove the lead paint from it. So
You
one
can't
way or
encapsulate-
another,
You can't encapsulate it in any way.
that's part of the remediation. So I think that, I agree with the chief that that should be done. But if a year from now, if we're gonna be doing the whole, or 2 years, we're gonna be doing the whole building, then we should just do it all at
Are we
once.
closer to a new building this year than we were
I don't know,
last
we'll
year?
find out tomorrow night when the commissioners give the building committee their new charge.
do we have a combined meeting? We don't have a combined
No.
meeting.
No,
No.
Okay. I was like, that's not on my calendar.
Surprise.
Something else is, but not that.
No, it's just commissioners tomorrow night.
Okay. All right, so I started to state that, we didn't actually go to the vote on that, we stopped, again, for 430.01, Second, and a motion and a second for $10,000 for all of those combined line numbers. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it.
Now, are you, the 700 for the,
Yeah, and then there, I don't know what the number is.
so we'll come back to that.
Yep.
In the generator, you're not looking for anything? Or 430.011?
Right. Well,
We should be.
we should be, I don't, is Central Generators doing that now? I know they're doing the one at Park Street,
I don't know.
I have to look at.
Brian Kilo handles
Sorry.
that.
A lot of lines here to look
Okay,
at.
so we'll leave that.
So I'll-
We'll come back to that.
I'll
Maybe
highlight
green.
that one as yellow. You want that one green?
Yes, green,
All right.
thank you.
All right.
And I'll highlight it yellow for the commissioners and the,
I move 430.02 Park Street Station, replace 2 windows, replace repair station sign on building, security video system, weed control around shed, water softener, salt, and
You want to do
filter.
all those with the commissioners?
Yeah, they don't have theirs.
Oh, yeah, sorry. But,
What? I know they have they have just the 5,500.
yeah. Okay, we'll wait on that one till the commissioners finish up. I guess.
The custodial supplies. Is there something else up here?
They did finish up. They said take the $5,500 and do whatever you want with it.
That's kind of what
Not
I
gonna give you
was
any more.
getting from that. But
I think we did, that's what we discussed.
Yep. No, that's what you do.
Well, we should address that then with the chief, each one of those lines.
You're saying each one of these under 02 Park Street Station?
Yes. So, but if I just heard that conversation correctly, this is what the chief proposed. The commissioner said $5,500 is your total, even though there's no zeros in there. The commissioners said $5,500 is your total maintenance budget.
And again, does that fall under because of the plans that you guys have?
Yeah, yep.
Just want to wait on that till
Yeah,
next,
we'll wait.
next
You
meeting.
don't wanna
Sounds
get-
like we'll have more information.
We'll only get Paul in trouble.
I think I'm figuring out what this plan is already.
Yeah.
How did we spend almost over double what was budgeted, what was allocated for a year to date? What happened? We did $3,500 appropriated for Park Street Station, and
Is the 4,000 been taken out of that? Yeah.
hold on a second.
Oh, it hasn't been taken out yet, or has it? I don't, no, I know, yeah.
Park Street. What did you get there?
We still get the doors
There's
going in down
$6,300 for the doors
there.
that's in there because that wasn't removed.
Yeah, yep.
Yep.
Hopefully that'll happen
That'll happen
tomorrow.
tomorrow, so,
So we'll have that next meeting.
yes.
On, if we go back to page 1,
That's it.
the pressurized hydrants at 175, 220, that's court ordered. What if we say, no,
Well,
I'm like,
No, don't go there.
where's that legal fee?
I did want to ask, so I was curious, because I mean, it's always been, is it because of different fees and so forth that it changed from
Yes.
165?
It's going up 4% every year for the next several
Right,
years.
okay, yeah, because I remember there was something.
Was it 5 years or 7?
7 years.
7 years.
contract.
7 years.
Yeah,
If you guys wanna fight it, you guys can go to court.
huh? I never wanted to fight it in the first place, I thought it was, the whole thing was
I'm not
asinine.
going again.
That was totally asinine.
I'll watch, I'll bring my popcorn.
next meeting, October 21st.
Next meeting, yes, next meeting is October 21st, I will not be here either, and from what I understand, what Kathy said, Charlie won't be here either. So, tag, you're it, but, obviously not a big deal, but I mean, but that's enough though. Hopefully, with the two of us gone, hopefully everybody else will be able to show up, so we have a quorum.
Do the commissioners have a budget workshop between now and then?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
And, yeah, and is four's a quorum? They- I don't know, no, three's not though, is it? I think you have to have over 50%.
You have to have, we're a 7-member board, so you need to have 4.
Oh, well, no, or 7, yeah, I'm thinking 6, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to have. you
Right,
have to
right,
have
yeah, we
4.
gotta have the 4, yeah. So that said,
So the commissioners are having their next, no, your budget workshop is on the 22nd. The budget committee's meeting on the 21st.
So it's not gonna be any change really?
No.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't do that.
We should switch it.
We should switch them.
No, I can't do that.
what,
I
the
can't
20,
do
oh,
Tuesday.
the 20, you're saying them 21st and us 22nd?
Yeah,
I won't be here that day either.
When's the one we have after that? Isn't it the,
and then.
The next one after that.
Then that would be November.
Is,
November, here.
Yeah, November
I
6th.
have it
Yeah.
yeah,
I have
I
a
think with the
list right
6th and 18th, if I'm not mistaken, for
Okay.
6 and
November.
18, yep.
And then we put December 2nd in there as well.
Yes. Yeah, because the commissioners, after the 22nd, there's the one after, the next one for them is the 4th of November.
So we
There
can do
they are.
6.
So when is the budget workshop for the
The
commissioners?
22nd.
The 22nd,
I won't be there.
it's the commissioners,
You don't have to be.
Oh, I thought you were.
yeah,
Sorry,
no,
I still won't be there. Well, he's called me to be at a meeting.
I have.
Well, is there any sense in us meeting on the 21st? Let's circle back to that question.
No.
I don't
No.
think so.
So cancel that meeting?
I mean, I suppose we could cancel. I mean, we've got a pretty good chunk done already.
I was gonna say, we're
Frankly,
moving right along.
And I mean, and we haven't even used our 2 hours yet.
I know, and you did what the commissioners had done.
mean, right. So, I mean,
Might I request a budget narrative for our next meeting,
Okay.
please?
It's almost there. It's like, it's,
So are we
Oh,
doing the
which-
21st or not?
so are we gonna,
Looks like no.
probably, well, it won't make much sense the 21st because we won't have anything to do. So do we want to, it doesn't seem like trying to fit something different beyond
Do it on the 6th?
the 6th of November. We'll just, I mean, that's plenty of time for it
Yeah.
to be posted, isn't it? I mean,
Oh,
it's-
absolutely, yes, I mean,
Yeah.
all I need is 24 hours.
Right, yeah.
So I'll just take the one for the 21st off the website. And then your next meeting will be November 6th.
Right. And I will be here for that one.
And that
Most
leaves
definitely.
us 3 meetings to finalize everything.
To get everything done.
Right.
We have to do that because Paul is leaving like the week of December 9th.
Right, and that's why we threw the 2nd in there in
Right.
case we needed. Because I think the first meeting that we had, we were talking about, with the budget being the way it is, without any craziness to it, I mean, it shouldn't really take us that long. I mean, so long as you guys are done with your stuff, it's, yeah. I mean, once they finish, we can,
Before
But,
I do.
I mean,
Right.
we've done the same thing the commissioners did, right? We tackle the easiest items first.
Right.
yeah, but then we went back, yeah, and then we went back.
We'll get the salaries. Salaries, they always seem to leave for last, and I have a feeling they might do that this year. And that'll be the big ticket for us.
I'm just afraid 3 more meetings isn't gonna be enough.
Well, if we have to work more than the 2 hours, we could always do that too, if we really get in a pinch.
Yeah.
Well, it could.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
happened before.
yeah, I'm not opposed. It's gotta get done, it's gotta get done. I mean, I'm not opposed to that if everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, you could go to 8 o'clock if you need to.
Mhm.
Not an issue.
past my bedtime.
thus far, I mean,
We
no-
can bring a cot.
yeah, I mean, it seems like it's a fairly straightforward budget, so I mean,
Yes.
we're not,
Power cut.
and we have it seems like we have a fairly amicable group here, so I don't see a lot of contentious.
So
Ad
October
nauseam
21 is
discussions.
canceled, our next meeting is November 6th.
Yes.
Right.
So
I make a motion to adjourn.
we have a motion been
Second.
made. We have a motion to adjourn that's been made and seconded. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. We will adjourn at
We might even have a fast district meeting this year, too.
6:58 p.m.
What do you got on your mind, Paul?
I just hit the stop one, right?
Yes.
Nothing goes down,
No gun classes, no gun classes.
so it is.